You're very welcome to Mayo GAA TV. We're live from the Ballina Stephenites grounds here for a double header this afternoon. 1 and 4 o'clock throw-in times. We have games in the intermediate and senior championship, and by golly, we're looking forward to it, even though it is in very strange circumstances because, of course, this weekend sees the first Mayo Club Championship games being played without spectators. So just the teams, their backroom teams, and of course some media as well. We're the lucky ones that are allowed in to see it. I'm delighted to be joined to look ahead to this first game by Declan O'Reilly and Tomás Morley. Guys, I can't even get too close to you. Declan, we said the new norm. We hope it's not going to be the norm for the foreseeable future, but it's strange times.
Yeah, and I encountered this, I suppose, first hand in Brafey yesterday, Angelina, in the game between Westport and Castlebar Mitchells. In a high-octane championship match, I suppose a knockout situation, a cracking first half in particular, but no crowd there to enjoy it or to appreciate it. I said yesterday, and I still believe today, we have to follow the public health advice. I have no issue with that whatsoever, but I think there could have been, and yet could be, better collaboration between the parties involved, maybe with the public health, with NEFIT and with the GAA, to talk about maybe exit strategy, entrance strategy, accommodation. The perimeter of this pitch again is about 450 metres. Get the people in, get them out, get them to travel by themselves in the cars, wear the masks. There's work in it, but it can be done, and I'd be confident if people get together they can sort it out over the next couple of weeks. But for today we're just going to have to run with it.
Yeah, absolutely, Tomás. It is strange times that we're in across the board for everyone, and look, this is the smaller part of it. We've had people who have been very sick, people who have passed away, so it is about adhering to the public health guidelines. But nonetheless, it is strange when we're at this stage of the championship that these two sets of teams that we're talking about, first of all, would love to have had their supporters with them today.
Yeah, look, I concur with what Dec is saying there. I think you know, some of them don't make sense. Some of the, but I suppose we're trying our best to make sure that that we adhere to everything. I think with a bit more, and I think it might happen yet. It might have to happen, you know, because there is a good deal of anger out there too. And I think sport outside on a day like today, we can hardly hear each other, and we're right beside each other. Never mind, maybe pass on stuff to each other. But I think, you know, it is really important. I have elderly parents at home. I've, you know, a lot of aunts and uncles, and I'm very wary of it. So I think as this goes on, it'll have to, you know, as we go on towards, we'll say, quarterfinals, semi-finals and finals, it'll be very difficult. And then you have to ask yourself the question, no more than with the county football, you know, is football just for the 30 or 40 people that are here, or is it for everybody? And, like, you know, is county football, for example, is it worth going through with it if no one can go and watch a match? And there are questions that, you know, have to be answered, and I think probably answered quick enough. Like.
Yeah, well, let's focus in on this game for a couple of minutes before we head to the live commentary section. Declan, Bonniconlon and Kiltimagh out here. Look, an interesting encounter. I know it's been a kind of the couple of years for both teams. Even I know Bonniconlon last year would have felt in the league that they were maybe edged out by Crossmolina in a huge game. So it's going to be an interesting game that we have coming up here at 1 o'clock.
Yeah, I came across Bonniconlon a bit over the last couple of years. I've been impressed with them. I know that Éanna Casey is doing some good work with them. They have a good management team. Their work ethic and their work rate is quite good, and their accuracy, I was very impressed with their forward play in the few games I've seen. For me, this game is about Kiltimagh though. Kiltimagh have to win. Their needs are much greater. They have to win in order to qualify. Kiltimagh have been talked about over the last 4 or 5 years as being potential intermediate champions and to push on and play senior football, and that was a legitimate I suppose thought that they've had. They've come up short in finals, a bit like Burrishoole over the years. If you continue to come up short, it's going to, I suppose, cause a bit of collateral damage in the mindset. So Kiltimagh still have it all to do, but I expect if they're up for it that they have a really good chance of pushing on here today, Angelina.
That's a fair assessment, Tomás. Obviously, you know Kiltimagh so well, but you know, no more than some of the shocks that we saw last night in the senior championship. Kiltimagh will have to be alive to the danger. We saw a lot of them last year, obviously, in the club championship, and they will feel they have some scores to settle.
Yeah, and I think, you know, I think it's actually a better scenario for Kiltimagh. Obviously, they would have liked to win one of the first two games, and this not to be as important. But I think over the last couple of years, there has been what Dec's talking about there. It's about Kiltimagh. There has been this thing at the start of the year that they should win an intermediate, but it's very hard winning an intermediate. And as I keep on saying to people, the longer you don't win an intermediate, the harder it gets the next year, because someone comes down from senior that maybe has been up there for a while, and they're they're well able to win, and they know how to win. You look at Hollymount, what they're doing at the moment. I would look at this as maybe that the pressure is off Kiltimagh, and they have to try and actually. And I've said it a few times as well, that when that pressure goes, and when they look at themselves and say, okay, we have to really work hard to actually win this game and put in the work rate. I think that's a better scenario for Kiltimagh.
Just on the changes, I know you'll go into this more in the commentary. We know that James Rafter is in there for Bonniconlon. We haven't heard of any other changes. They're just about to announce it here, Declan, over the loudspeaker. But really, at this level, it will be just who gets that better start, who can maintain that, and those last 15 minutes.
Yeah, and I think we can strip it down and we can take a lot of the tactics out of it. In a game like today, with 50 positions up for grabs on the pitch, whoever wins the most of those individual battles will go a long way to deciding who has more of the ball, and therefore obviously who can go in. I know that's a very simplistic view, but I think that's what managers will be looking for here. Get your hands on the ball, be quicker, be smarter, be stronger than your immediate opponent. Do the smart thing with it, make the right decisions, get the ball inside if you can, make the pass, make the tackle. All those little elements that make up a full game, they're going to be the important things, and I'm sure that's what most as a manager.
Okay, and call it for me, Declan, very quickly. We're going over to the commentary.
Kiltimagh have to win. I give them an edge on this one.
Yeah, Tomas?
Yeah, I think the same thing. I think I'm looking for the bigger players in Kiltimagh now to stand up, and the Owen Lavins and the Killian Finns and midfield and that, and then hopefully Kiltimagh win. Yeah.
Okay, well lads, we're going to hand you over now to our commentary team. Declan and Tom will be joining Tom Carney, who's on commentary for this first game this afternoon. Tom.
Thanks very much, Angelina, and good afternoon and welcome to James Stephens Park, Ballina, for the double header today. First off, we're starting with the Egan's Jewelers Intermediate Championship clash between Kiltimagh and Bonniconlon, and as the lads said, there's a little low rivalry in place here. Bonniconlon have been the surprise package of this year's competition. The conditions, very strong wind playing left to right into the town end goal, but the teams, will go through them for you now quickly, and the first team up we have is Bonniconlon. So in goal for Bonniconlon is Aidan Doherty. The full back line is Martin Durkin, Owen Gravy and Jason O'Malley. Half forward back line is Ronan Conlon, Pierce Durkin and Conor Igo. Midfields Jonathan Lavelle and Killian Upton. At 10 is Ronan Neary. In place of number 11A, another is number 22 James Rafter, who the only surviving member of the last time Bonniconlon got to the county final in '97. Damien Dempsey, and the full forward line is Sean Neary, Aidan Harrington and David Walsh. For Kiltimagh, there's no changes on their side, and they'll line out as selected. So in goal is Jamie McNicholas, Matty Cummins, Donegan Crosgrove and Kevin Mulderrick. The half back line is Sean Forkin, Conor Heenahan, Brian Gallagher. Midfield we have Paul Kelly and Sean Walsh. The half forward line is Conor Malee, David Lynan and Thomas Keegan, and the full forward line is Killian Finn, TJ Byrne and Owen Lavin. Damien Dempsey, who lines out at 12 for Bonniconlon, was the manager for Bonniconlon last year. He was also a sponsor, and he's been recalled as a player, so he's really a big club man there for Bonniconlon. While Kiltimagh, has Tomas Morney alluded to, they've been a team that have been on the rise for a number of years, and they've been unlucky in the last couple of county finals. And Tomas, you'd be hoping today that they get the result they need, because if Kiltimagh were to lose, and if Swinford or Lewisburg were to get a big win, Kiltimagh could be in trouble.
Yeah, look, it's as Declan said there, it's a very big game for Kiltimagh, and maybe that in these sort of conditions and these sort of scenarios.
Okay, we're just going to hand over now for the national anthems. The rafter will be just coming up shortly. So the as you were saying, they've been the coming team, and to be fair, Bonniconlon have been the surprise package this year, and we know that Donald Truey's done a massive amount of work with this team, and they've been very impressive. Kiltimagh with the 2 draws. Kiltimagh won't have it their own way today.
No. I mean, look, Bonniconlon have won their first 2 games, and I think every I suppose group like that has that sort of the ones that are going to be the actual maybe the dark horses. I think Bonniconlon are.
Okay, so we'll pause now for the playing of the national anthem.
Bagorje Cheski Nish Lahaya Awan Nabin.
The sun shining as the national anthem is played. As we said, it's a very strong wind that is going to be playing. Affect both teams. Both teams eager. As we said, Bonniconlon are already through to the quarter. Kiltimagh, draw or a win should suffice, but if the results doesn't go their way, Swinford and Lewisburg are in the other game in this group could have a massive effect on that. And what you'd want to expect today is just to see Kiltimagh stamp home their authority. As I said, they've been in a couple of finals in the last few years, and Tomás Morley, the feeling down in Kiltimagh is that they could they haven't really kicked on in this championship so far.
No, but I think with the way that the two games went earlier in the season, I think they'd be happy to be in this situation today, that they actually they can actually get through, because I mean there were in the last couple of minutes of both games, the opposition, both Lewisburg and Swinford, had chances to actually win them games. Now Kiltimagh had two, but I think they'll be happy to be in this position today.
Eamon McAndrew, our referee from Clonmars, is ready to go, and Declan O'Reilly. We're back underway, and the ball is up and is broken down. Kiltimagh get the first throw in, and they're looking for a long ball immediately. Look to make the use of that strong breeze. The ball gets into the edge of the square, takes it in. It's TJ Byrne, and that ball is just gone around the post for a 45. And straight away you can see Kiltimagh's tactic is just to deliver the ball straight in early. TJ Byrne took it well, shrugged off the challenge, didn't make a good connection, and the cornerback Martin Durkin just got round there to stop the ball going in.
There's a strong breeze in it now. There's a good direct ball into TJ Byrne. Funny enough, he didn't take the mark. He could have. That was his option, but he fancied a goal chance. He just didn't get around, didn't get a good connection on it. But with that strong breeze, I'd expect that there's a really good chance that Jamie McNicholas will kick over the 45.
So it's going to be Jamie McNicholas. As most teams now, they're bringing up their goalkeepers to kick their long range scores or their 45s. With the breeze behind him, you'd expect him to be able to hit this distance no problem. He makes a fairly decent connection, and that's over the bar. And the opening score for Jamie McNicholas puts Kiltimagh 1 point to no score into the lead.
Yeah, and I think the long ball into TJ is going to be something that they're going to have a look at, obviously in the first half. But I think if any criticism of Kiltimagh in the last while has been that they haven't been direct enough getting the ball in. So again, the excuse with that win today would be to let that in. And TJ, when he's on form, he can do damage.
Yeah, I think it really sets him up, doesn't it, Tom? With that breeze at his back, it's going to go direct into him. That looks like what they're going to do.
That's exactly what that looks as though it is, and that breeze is going to cause a problem then for the Bonniconlon kick out, as you saw there. Not really read well at all. Kiltimagh pick up the scraps, pick up the breaking ball, but again straight away ball played in long towards Byrne. He's out in front of his man this time. He doesn't keep it for St. Killian Finn gets it off. He pops it off. There's a goal chance here. The first goal for Kiltimagh in the championship comes back. Brian Gallagher, direct Route 1 football again, as you said. And Declan O'Reilly, it's simple football.
It was, because the breeze is a major factor. It came into TJ Byrne, it spilled. One of the Kiltimagh forwards picked it up, and a lovely little offload then into Brian Gallagher, who was just, I suppose, off the shoulder in the right place at the right time, and had an open net to palm it into. Very good start from Kiltimagh, exactly what they're hoping for.
1-1 for Kiltimagh lead after 2 minutes. It's going to be an interesting game. In the other game in this group, it's 1 point to Lewisburg, no score to Swinford after 1 minute there, but Kiltimagh are looking to take full advantage of this breeze. Byrne again out trying to get away from his marker, and he's fouled inside, and that's going to be an easy free. And flying start for Kiltimagh, Tomás Morley.
Yeah, exactly what they needed. And as I said, the breeze there has actually dictated the way they're going to play now. And 3 balls have gone in, and 3 balls have been touched by TJ Byrne, and an offload. Owen Lavin in the right place for that goal with the right head. He could have tried and blasted it, but looked up, saw Chucky, as we call him, inside, and it was a simple goal in the end. But Bonniconlon are very worried on the sideline now.
They are, and they're particularly worried about their midfield partnership, I think, because Kiltimagh are dominating out there, and the kickouts are hanging in the air a bit, and Kelly and Sean Walsh are getting up to that ball quicker and better than the Bonniconlon counterparts are.
And that suits Tom. That suits Kiltimagh with the actual the hanging, because Sean Welch is very tall, and
so is Paul Kelly.
Yeah, Paul Kelly is very tall as well, but Sean has that sort of type of catch, not the the one that comes really fast at you, or more that hanging one.
So Thomas Keegan puts that over the bar to extend Kiltimagh's lead to 1-2. We're still only Bonniconlon haven't got out of their half yet, even though they get the free from the kick out, and they're gonna, against this strong breeze, you'd be expecting them to play the ball through the hand, which is what they're trying to do. Looking for poor solo there. Brian Gallagher gets a foot in, and the referee says he's fouled as he tried to get away from his man. Poor control there from Ronan Neary, and Kiltimagh look to get forward as quick as they can. Owen Lavin, the captain, Chucky as he's affectionately known, as Tomás Morley tells us, another ball going direct one in towards TJ Byrne, kept behind his man that time. Maybe wasn't expecting it, but he's making a nuisance of himself around the 30 metre mark and gets the ball up at the second attempt. He's had another player free inside coming across, David Lydon, and Lydon is now fouled, and 4 attacks for Kiltimagh are going to, if this goes over, result in 4 scores. Tomás Morley.
Yeah, and again, I mean, Bonniconlon's own fault there with just taking their eye off the ball there in a solo. But again, I'm always saying if you get the ball in there into that area, you're going to cause trouble. And Owen Lavin, it's young Gallagher that's Chucky, not Owen Lavin.
Owen Lavin, sorry.
Again, has a bit of an injury, Owen. So again, it's great to get a good start from.
Yeah, I don't think you should tear all red hair from the same brush, lads.
Well, look at. We won't go there on this occasion. So Bonniconlon finding it very hard, as we said, to get out of their own half after coming up to 5 minutes. The referee, Eamon McAndrew, is saying, "Hurry up, get on with it." He wants I think there's one of the Mirferna round behind the goal. They want him out of the way. As Aidan Doherty, his kick out drops short again. Met with Paul Kelly's right boot. David Lydon can't get it at the first attempt, gets it at the second, gets away from his man, back into midfield. Kiltimagh are playing, moving the ball left to right. Good crossfield pass from Kevin Mulderrick, looking to release. Keegan again, he's already got one, he's looking to get his second. He takes that from a nice angle, and that's a great score from Thomas Keegan. And it started from Aidan Doherty's poor kick out. The breeze is causing problems inside, and Thomas Keegan just lovely cut inside, kept wadded onto his rifle, and Declan O'Reilly a great finish.
Yeah, good score. He did what every forward do. He got the ball in the right position. He was comfortable from I suppose the range in which he feels he can score with the wind at his back, and he popped it over the bar. I really think the Bonniconlon are going to have a look at Adrian Doherty's kick-out strategy. It's simply route one down the middle, and Kiltimagh are absolutely dominating here now. I think they're going to have to look at going some kind of short or some sort of plan B, because what they're doing now simply is not working.
Frustration on the Bonniconlon sideline. We apologise if you picked up any of the bad language there, but frustrations are eking out here as another kick out goes astray, and Aidan Doherty, who's Kevin McLaughlin's brother-in-law, in the Bonniconlon goal, they'll have to change the strategy. They'll have to possibly go shot with this breeze. He's made a really good connection, but it's gone to the first wide of the game.
And just to continue what you're saying there about the kickouts, like it's just a route one kick. It's not a directive one at all. And that's 5-6 kickouts, or this is 6. And it seems to be just to lump it out, and that's going to be an issue if they have no space to kick.
But they have one 0 out of 6, Tom.
Yeah.
So no kick out one is its own tale here as the drizzle starts to come down here in James Stephens Park, Ballina. The Egan's Jewelers Mayo Intermediate Football Championship. Another kick out, and that's gone straight to the hands of Sean Walsh, and he's going to power forward. The goal scorer, Chucky, drops the ball, but he has a player available, Conor Malee, coming around on the loop, gives it back to Sean Walsh. Sean Walsh looks to switch the play from left to right into the corner forward. Owen Lavin just couldn't hang on the ball. Better defensive work there from Bonniconlon, and they're going to try and run the ball out of defence now. Neary into midfield. looking for options, loses it in the solo again. That's the second time that's happened, but this time he's fouled as he goes down for the ball. It can't be underestimated how difficult it is trying to solo the ball into that breeze. As we said, it's giving Kiltimagh a 1-4 head start, but Bonniconlon's kickouts have kind of added to their own downfall. They're inside the 21. Bonniconlon recycling the ball. James Rafter looking for help, goes back out to midfield, gives it to Jonathan Lavelle being chased down by his opposite marker Paul Kelly. Damien Dempsey, manager last year, sponsor of the Bonniconlon club as well. Poor pass, turned over. Sean Neary, Ronan's brother, Vinny's son, plays it in towards the full forward line. Aidan Harrington couldn't get it at the first attempt. The number 7 coming through at pace is Conor Igo tries to get a shot away. Damon McAndrew, the referee, says he overcarried. Fair, I think you'll agree, lads. He was
probably harsh enough.
Small bit harsh.
Few hands coming in on him, but
it was. He was trying against the breeze to run direct between the gap, where there was really no gap. I don't know, was there an overcarrying there? Kind of a harsh foul, I would have thought. So
Kiltimagh not going short for the free, and then a forward ball as soon as they get to halfway. Second attempt, Lavin trying to get it back into his hands, manages to do so. Lavin has a player free inside if he wants to bring it on. Coming on at pace here, Conor Malee, he gets a left-footed shot off, but that's dragged to the right and wide for Kiltimagh's second wide of the game. So from 5 attacks, they've had 2 wides. They've scored 1-4. We're coming up to 9 minutes gone, and I think Kiltimagh and Jeremy Nicholas will be more than happy.
Yeah, very happy. But again, this breeze is so strong that I think they'll have to get everything when they come up here. They'll have to get it. I'm impressed though with Kiltimagh's ability just to be patient in that tackle. Though there was no foul, there, and they backed in and they waited for the tackle to come in.
Yeah, they're doing well, and again I agree. I think we're looking at, really, it's hard to judge, but I would imagine that's a 7 or 8 point breeze anyway, and that Kiltimagh will look to get every score they possibly can in the first half.
4 points Lewisburg, 1 point Swinford in the other game here. 6 minutes into the first half, as on the attack again come Kiltimagh with Paul Kelly. Kelly slips it inside. Trying to get a shot off with his right, he was off balance as he struck at half, stumbled. Another wide, and as Declan Riley, I think the 7 point breeze, you'd have to think that won't be enough, particularly if the conditions stay as they are, and Bonniconlon at some point are going to get a kick in this game.
Yeah, David Lyden looks at threat actually. He did quite well there. I thought he did the hard work. He got the ball. He was in around the centre of the D, and he ghosted by the by the Bonniconlon defender fairly decently. He got right in front of the goal. It was just a chip point, but he miscued it. It was a poor miss, really.
Kick out again. As Tomas Molly alluded to, Bonniconlon don't seem to have a plan. It just seems to be try and find a free player, and Bonniconlon decide to drive forward now. Coming at 12 is Damien Dempsey. Turn the ball over. The goal scorer Gallagher, he's inside. He's going to go for his second score of the game, and he's got it. Great work from Brian Gallagher. Chucky, just make sure, just because he's another redhead.
I think actually Doherty is trying to find sort of smaller gaps on the wings now, but again it's going down to a looseness in Bonniconlon play, really. That was a hand pass that hit the ground again, so
it was a soft turnover.
Bonniconlon have been the architects of their own downfall so far. And another kick out, it's held up on the breeze. It's out to that right hand side, broken well by Conor Heenahan. Bonniconlon get the breaking ball. Lavin trying to stop the Bonniconlon attack from building any momentum. Don't forget, coming up 4 o'clock, we have Garrymore versus Belmullet. The losers there could go into in relegation trouble. So Bonniconlon trying to run the ball out of their defence. Ronan Conlon is fouled from behind, so it's going to be a free, and Eamon McAndrew is going to bring the free up as the ball was thrown or kicked away. But Bonniconlon need to, Declan Riley they need to get a score on the board. They need to give themselves a little bit of a foothold in the game.
They do now. They've had 2 attacks and they've got nothing from them, and credit to Kiltimagh's defence. They've been patient and they've been good in it, but Bonniconlon are on the offensive now. They're just here in a scoring position, but again it's a soft ball turned over by Kiltimagh and they're on the attack.
Kiltimagh looking to launch a counter attack. They're moving the ball much quicker with the aid of the breeze. Nice little foot pass from David Lynan, plays it up the line. Try to keep it in play, manages to do so. Turns his man inside. Great work from Killian Finn. Coming along the line, he's clipped as he goes through. Notices the referee, but he's fouled on the ground. The referee says no. So it's going to be a free out for Bonniconlon as they look to get their first score in 12 minutes in, and they haven't registered a shot in anger. That'll be the disappointing thing for Donald Toohey after the performances they've had in the last 2 games. But Kiltimagh are the ones that need the win. They have to win to stay in the championship this year. Good work from Neary this time. Little interchange of passes with David Walsh. This time they play the ball inside. Well taken by Aidan Harrington. He's going to have a shot. No, good defensive discipline defending from Kiltimagh, and a push in the back then, the frustration from Harrington. Really good work by Heenahan and Cosgrove there just to shut down that Bonniconlon.
Yeah, I think it was Donovan Cosgrove that got the hand in there and got that dispossession. That's 3 in a row that they've got back there, the Kiltimagh full back line. They're showing great discipline and they're showing composure in the tackle. Very impressive.
And up on already in the attacker Kiltimagh, and it's going to be Lavin to have another go. This time it drops short, and thankfully Aidan Doherty able to take it under his own crossbar at the second attempt and gets the attack back underway quickly. Good work that time over carrying, says the referee. It's just not working for Bonniconlon at the moment.
And it's the pressure, I suppose, that Kiltimagh is putting on them as well. Like, it's just they're not going in with them sort of just like lunge tackles. They're actually sitting back, putting the pressure on them. I think
it's disciplined defending. It is,
yeah.
It's able
but
to hold
again,
that run.
It's easy to do that when the breeze is with you.
Direct ball into the square. Doherty comes out and takes man, ball and everything just to clear his house. And I think TJ Byrne felt that one as the ball is recycled back out to Conor Malee. Sean Forkin to Kelly. Kiltimagh happy to play the ball around the periphery of the 45 and get Pierce Durkin on the ball. Movement inside. You have Byrne is still holding in the edge of the square. It's going to have a go from distance. Keegan looked like he was going to pull the trigger, and he has done, and that's a great score from distance, using the breeze to its full effect. His 3rd score of the game. Patient build up, as you can see from the replay here. Patient build up.
Keegan has probably been their best scorer over the last couple of games. He tends to go in and out of the game sometimes, but there he's actually, he has that confidence. And again, as I say again, it's easier when they're racking up the scores to have them shots, and I think Bonniconlon are probably, in a game like this when the breeze is against you, and that sometimes you don't drop too many people, but they didn't do it quick enough, and now they're paying the price for it.
Yeah, in fairness to Keegan at the most, he's a lovely striking action, hasn't he? He's a lovely
Lavin turns the ball over. He's on the attack. He's inside the 21. Is he going to have a go from distance? He is, and that's over the bar. Great individual score from Owen Lavin. Turned the ball over himself and pressured, good running on his left boot, curls the ball in over the black spot. Great work from
I've seen a lot of Owen Lavin over the years. I know he's had a lot of serious injuries now, but he's a really classy forward, so I'm playing a lot of underage football for Mayo. Again, it's pretty simple. If anybody here is watching or listening, it's really down to the Bonniconlon kick out. They're failing to get the ball out of their own half. The territory is all up here to our right, and Kiltimagh are making that pay now. They've won 7 on the board to no score, and Bonniconlon haven't got a shot away.
Another kick out's broken for Kiltimagh's way. Good quick turnover ball by Malee, and they're looking for the ball inside, delivered quickly, not cut out the first time, but the second time come across Martin Durkin, gets the ball away. Bonniconlon really need to get a foothold in this game. It looks like they're going to be making a substitution, but they turn over the ball in their own half, and that's not a fair challenge to the referee. It looks like Martin Rafter is going to be introduced early, and the Bonniconlon bench quick to react. We're going to have the water break coming up, and the next probably break.
5 turnovers in attacking positions,
and they're already inside again. And it's going to be David Lydon is going to try and get his first of the game. Comes off the outside of the post. Nobody at home just to react quickly. Lavin was just held his run as Bonniconlon are trying to hand pass it out of defence. They need the runners coming at pace off their shoulder, and it's a very static line that Bonniconlon have. It's not. And that's a kick pass away. That was to nobody in particular. Jameson O'Malley, he's going to put his own side back under pressure, but again Kevin Mulderrick almost does the same thing for Kiltimagh and gives the Bonniconlon defence a breather. They've been under incessant pressure for at least 14 of the 16 minutes in play. It's 7 points Louisburg, 2 points Swinford as they approach the water break there as well. And Bonniconlon can't get any kind of rhythm, can't get any kind of play going. Looking to David Walsh, he's taken out of it as he goes down to pick up the ball, and it could be this first score. It's going to be a difficult kick from distance, particularly into that breeze, Declan O'Reilly.
Yeah, that's 30 metres out into a stiff breeze. I'm not even sure if that's kickable. He doesn't look hugely confident that he's going to kick it. I'd say he'd prefer to go short, looking at his body language there. Okay, he's decided not to take it at all, and they've given it over now to Sean Neary.
Sean Neary and Ronan Neary, the sons of Vincent Neary, referee from this part of the parish. And we have Lewisburg 7-3 ahead, and they are at the water break there. I'll say after this ball is struck, we'll have the water break here as well. Now, we've seen on a few of the games we've shown where the water break will actually impede the momentum of the team that's actually in the ascendancy.
Well, there's only one team here that wants the water break, Tom, and that's Bonniconlon, and they're going to want the longest water break in the history of water breaks.
And they'll want that wind to change, but that wind isn't doing any favours there for Sean Neary. And there is the whistle for the water break, and it's no score to 1-7. And Tomas Morley, from what you've seen, there's been only one team in it, but as we said, conditions are difficult with that breeze. But the Bonniconlon strategy, from their kickouts to their working their ball out, just hasn't worked.
Well, the other issue is that the transition, what Bonniconlon are doing now is they dropped at least two back, and the transition from the back line into the actual into a sort of attacking position, it's not fluid in the sense that the two that are sitting back aren't coming with the play up. So when they look up, there's no one to kick the ball to. So even that one that they got the free from, it was a 50-50 sort of situation, and Conor Heenan got a foot on it. They could have got it. So it's not that they're carrying the ball with sort of that sort of fluidity through the lines. And again, you'll hear here behind us, we're probably not in the best position now. We could hear a lot of expletives, but it's not. It is a little bit of what they're talking about there. I can imagine they're talking about wanting to be in this game and all of that sort of thing. But I think Kiltimagh's actually quickness through the hands, looking up, getting the ball in, that's what's actually done it. And
we can show you the goal from Kiltimagh. It was, as we said, very early in the game. It was a great finish by Brian Gallagher from great work by Owen Lavin and from Killian Finn. Owen Lavin well aware of what's going on inside him,
and in fairness to Moss, he had mentioned his awareness. He's a very smart player. But Killian Finn, I think the smart thing there was the pick up, because that was nearly one off the ground. He had to do it very, very quickly. Offloaded to Lavin, and in fairness to Chucky, he was at the right place at the right time, and a good goal for Kiltimagh.
The referee has blown his whistle here as we were just discussing that there. Brian Gallagher took the ball. The referee blew the whistle for the mark. Gallagher declined it, but then it's going. He actually started to run. So the referee says no, it's going to be a hot ball. So it's the referee blows his whistle. It's up to the player then to put his hand up for the mark. But he decided to continue on, and then I think he fouled Conor Igo. But Bonniconlon now. Let's see if the stinging words are still ringing in their ears as Donald Tuohy's charges are trying to drive forward, try to get a score on, and the referee says no. There was a pull on a jersey. I think it was Pierce Durkin who had a little tug of the jersey. So this is a much more kickable free, Declan O'Reilly, than the last one.
Yeah, but it's no gimme, Tom. I have to say that now, David Welch. It's into a nice breeze, but you'd imagine he'd kick it. He's just on where the D meets the 20-metre line by the time he kicks that ball. So really you're looking at maybe 21, 22 metres by the time he kicks it into the breeze, but it should be well scoreable.
And he does. He gets them on the board. Good score, David Walsh. 1 point, Bonniconlon, and it's 1-7 Kiltimagh. And we apologise there at the water break. You might have overheard some of the team talk from Bonniconlon there, from Donald Tuohy and Ian Casey, who've been very, very, very disappointed with what they've seen, and they've tried to give a bit of encouragement to their players as there's better work between Upton and Lavelle. And coming on the break now is Rafter. James Rafter trying to get away from the goal scorer Brian Gallagher inside the 45. Gives it to Ronan Conlon. Conlon looking for support. Rafter around on the loop. Good pressure from Kiltimagh, just trying to hold up the Bonniconlon attack now. A wall of blue across the 45. Bonniconlon could do with another score just to give them a little bit of a momentum in this game. A poor fist pass over the top to nobody in particular. I think he was looking for David Walsh to come on an angled run, and he just wasn't alive to it.
But they're the type of errors that will have the Bonniconlon management tearing their hair out, because that was 100% unforced with Bonniconlon in a good position, and they just cough up a cheap ball to Kiltimagh.
And Kiltimagh are going to look to launch a counter attack, and this time they go slower build up. They're not playing the direct ball inside. It goes right up to the sideline. It's gone out over the end line for Bonniconlon.
So what it looks like is we'll say James Rafter is dropping back. One of the midfielders is dropping back, and in fairness, they made it hard there, but again I think a bit of patience is needed.
It's interesting that it doesn't seem to be a system change from Bonniconlon, and at the break they seem to have just happy to persevere with what they're doing, and as Matty Cummins, Burton Durkin comes across the field again. It's a better breakdown. Ronan Conlon trying to get some pace, get some impetus into this attack. Sean Neary into the 45 is his head up. He's been one of the stars of this Bonniconlon so far in this championship run, and he gets it, and there's a chance of a goal. Aidan Harrington saved on the line twice. No, it's a goal. It's a goal. Sean Neary, we can see the replay here. Sean Neary had a shot at goal, a drop shot. Aidan Harrington tried to palm it in. It came off the goalkeeper. He was reacted quickest. Little right foot shot. The goalkeeper seemed to save it with his legs, but the umpire on that side said, yeah, it's a goal. So it's game on here in James
perseverance from Aidan Harrington, and it looks like, I don't know how far our goal line technology extends. I think we're having a look at it on the replay here, but the umpire is the closest we have to it. He had no doubt. He put the hand up straight away. There wasn't huge protest at Kiltimagh. That's a huge score in the context of this game.
1-1 Bonniconlon, 1-7 Kiltimagh, and we mentioned it just before the water break that the momentum changer, and since that water break it's been all Bonniconlon as Doherty. Again, Kiltimagh trying to force the turnover, missed the tackle that time, so Bonniconlon and Martin Rafter in particular have been attacking the midfield area. Little pop pass over the top, a cheeky one. Rafter again goes for the return. He's looking for help. He's been a long time servant of the club. As we said, he's the last surviving member of the panel who played in 97, but that ball is turned over far too easily. And when you look at the numbers, Tomas Morley, there's only Aidan Harrington playing inside the full forward line for Bonniconlon, and there's no other player around him, and it's collapsing the half forward line into midfield, and they don't have, when they turn over the ball, they don't have a target.
Yeah, but they're doing a lot better now, and again Kiltimagh now are forcing the issue with sort of kick passes that they don't have to, whereas in the first half the first half of this they were kicking it into the actual full forward line. They're missing out on that now.
Ronan Neary gives it to his brother Sean, creator of the goal, and he's going to have a go himself. They're both left footers, and that one is going to come off the post and just go wide. Good effort from that range. Looked like it might have been too much on the breeze,
but if any place they're going to shoot long from, it's on this side. It's actually on this side here. The breeze is peculiar enough. It's actually dragging it across, and that goal chance was like that too.
It came from that. It actually suits a left-footed kicker, doesn't it? And there was the goal chance actually came from a point attempt that dropped in short.
Lewisburg 8 points, Swinford 5. The referee's attention is being brought to something that's happened while we were following the play. His linesman is having a chat with him. He's calling over, I think he's calling over, is it Killian Upton and Paul Kelly?
Well, Killian Upton anyway.
Jonathan Lavelle, he's having a word with.
Yes.
So something happened off the ball, obviously.
I think it's something that happened up the line here earlier on, but I just saw a guy down. It says yellow.
Yeah, it's got a yellow.
So the linesman picked it up, but he's lost his man now. There's a easy kick out there for Kiltimagh, and they need to just get back to their rhythm, get back to how they were playing, as Melee slips with the ball and touched it on the ground. He actually rolled his ankle. He's in some pain down on the ground. Here is Conor Melee, as that kick pass across the field was not even 50-50 in Bonniconlon's favour, and Chucky Gallagher was able to turn it over. Conor Melee is in some distress here down in front of us. As I said, he seemed to roll the ankle as Kiltimagh go back to route one ball. Well taken by Killian Finn. He's turned and he's going to have a go from distance, and that's a great score. Good play. Easy ball inside, turn and swung over the bar.
Yeah, look at Killian has a lot of talent. I think in the first 20 minutes there he hasn't shown it yet. He's been targeted a little bit on the ground a few times, but that's what he can do. He's a lovely sweet left foot. There's a few injuries now accumulating, especially ankle. I think Conor Melee there is in trouble.
Doherty straight out to the field, and that's taken well by Damien Dempsey. Declines the mark and trying to get another Bonniconlon attack on the way. And Neary again, Sean Neary coming across the 45, trying to get away from his marker, and that's a lazy tackle from Owen Greavy. You have to say he didn't even attempt to play the ball. He just gives a swing of an arm, and Lewisburg now are 9-5 up.
So yeah, I think that was Donovan Cosgrove that time that was in with the tackle, and it was a kind of he put the arm up high. It was a kind of a swing of the arm really than any direct method in dispossessing him, and it's a free, but it's a much more difficult free than the last one.
So there's a couple of Bonniconlon shirts in and around the large square. That one hasn't even made the large square as Aidan Harrington tries to break it down and does so. Broke for Ronan Neary. He spins on the spot and Ronan Neary puts that over the bar. Great finish from Ronan Neary from a breaking ball. It's from the replay here. It was broken kindly, spun, and with his right boot just turned and put it over the bar.
Yeah, an instinctive shot. He broke down. He was in the right place at the right time. He turned onto his right foot, popped it over the bar.
1-2 without reply now for Bonniconlon since the water break. And what we can say is Bonniconlon have come out with a much clearer and better attacking sense of the game, and they're happy to run the ball through the hand into the midfield. Neary, Ronan and Sean have been quite prominent in the attacks as Ronan pops it off, gives it to Killian Upton back to Neary. They're looking for Harrington inside the square, much like Kiltimagh did with TJ Byrne in the first half. Harrington working the ball out, gives it to Neary. Roshan Neary has a player free this side in the shape of Conor Igo. Conor Igo's going to have a go. That's an absolutely peach of a point. The score of the game so far from Conor Igo. He struck it with the outside of his right boot, as you can see from the replay here. He bent the ball in, a la Kieran McDonald. Fantastic score from Conor Igo.
Yeah, it was one of those outside of the right boot from the left hand side of the pitch. Judged the breeze to perfection. A fantastic score. That's 1-3 to a point now to Bonniconlon since the water break. It's amazing the new dynamic that these water breaks have brought to the games.
Kiltimagh are fighting for every ball they get. Bonniconlon have really upped their game in the last 7 or 8 minutes. Bonniconlon, as we said, already qualified. They don't want to lose. They want to go in top of the group. Finishing top gives you potentially a better draw in the quarter-final, as Owen Lamb's going to have another go from range. That falls kindly for Byrne, but his fist just doesn't have anybody on the other end of it. And Owen Lavin is causing a bit of havoc over there on that left-hand side. He got a great score a few moments ago, and that was danger again for Bonniconlon.
Yeah, and I think again the work rate of Kiltimagh has to improve, letting Bonniconlon out of defence here. They're coming out an awful lot easier than they were in the first 15 minutes, and that can be just a bit of complacency.
Bonniconlon Ronan Conlon has a player free inside, gives it off to Ronan Neary. Ronan playing it up around the corner, looking for David Walsh. Little nudge in the back maybe, but he keeps the ball in play. No,
good defending.
Just good work from the Kiltimagh backs, a better defensive. But Tomás Morley, Kiltimagh have, as you can see, their forwards workload has dropped dramatically.
And also just again the half forward line and has retreated a little bit in too far and let them come up. So I think it's just a little bit of, and if they ran at them a little bit like this now, I think they could get a score from it again.
Kiltimagh back to how they started the game inside the first 5-6 minutes, absolutely blitzed the Bonniconlon defence. There's a player free this side if they want to use him. And that's a poor execution of the pass. He was in acres of space all on his own, and Bonniconlon now can launch a counter attack of their own. They got players being, as Tomás Morley alluded to, being let come forward. And Killian Upton is starting to have a bit of an influence around the middle of the field. Upton plays a ball out to the wing to Aidan Harrington. He's have a little bit of work to do to keep that in. He manages just to do so, drops the ball inside the line, doesn't foul his man, manages to turn it over again. Great work by Aidan Harrington. Gets it away from Donovan Cosgrove as Bonniconlon bring it in field to Jonathan Lavelle. He's already got a point. He has to break that one down for Damien Dempsey. Dempsey, not the singer, but he gives it off to Conor Igo. He's already got one in this game. Conor Igo has a go at this one, but this one's wide. Not as accurate as the last one, but better from Bonniconlon. More patient build up. They're starting to get a little bit of joy around the middle of the field.
They are, yeah. They're coming into it in the middle third, and in fairness now to Aidan Harrington, he's causing a bit of bother inside now, a big physical presence. But that was unlucky from Conor Igo. It was an easier shot than the last time that he pointed from, but maybe he was on the run and he forced the kick a little.
Gallagher going back to direct football to Lavin. Good running, straight line running from Tomás Keegan. He's already got 3. He's going to have a go for another one, but that one has gone to the right and wide, and the wide counts are starting to tally up. It's 1-3 Bonniconlon, 1-8 Kiltimagh. And you'd have to I think Tomás, we said it could be a 7 or 8 point breeze. 5 points might not do it.
Yeah, well, it's just at the moment, I think, as I said earlier on, I think Kiltimagh are forcing it. Like, they're forcing it when a simpler sort of, like in the first half, it was quite first quarter, it was quite simple what they were doing, but now they're forcing long shots when it's not necessarily on.
Better kick out, very well claimed there by Dempsey. great mark to take, particularly in these conditions. Lewisburg 10 points, Swinford 6 is the latest score that we have as they approach half time. We're into added time for whatever the referee's going to allow for stoppages, and Bonniconlon will be much the happier team coming out in the second half after stemming the Kiltimagh tide. And it's 1-3 they put on to 1 point, and Gallagher penalised him, and McAndrew is in the middle of the field. He deems it was a foul, but Bonniconlon have, if they can get another score or two, it's going to make it a much more interesting game as we approach half time. Don't forget, coming up later on at 4 o'clock we have the Connacht Gold Senior Football Championship game between Belmullet and Garrymore. But here we're focused on the Egan's Jewelers Mayo Intermediate Football Championship. Bonniconlon and Kiltimagh putting on a tough game for them, both teams. It's, as we said, Bonniconlon are already qualified. They want to continue their development that they've had this year under Donald Toohey, as Jonathan Lavelle gives it to his midfield teammate Killian Upton. Upton having a go from range, and that's dropped in around the house, and it's well read by Jamie McNicholas as the referee blows the half-time whistle. It's Kiltimagh who lead 1-8, Bonniconlon 1-3. We're going to go to a quick ad break, and then we will have analysis at half-time from Tomas and from Declan, who will join Angelina.
Chamber of Commerce, we've been operating for nearly 60 years. Our ethos is to be in business for businesses, and we are all about the town, for Ballina, for North Mayo, for the county as well.
It's about the area, it's about what they can do when they get here and if they're safe. And we'll have the same great hospitality that we've always had, the great food, the great custom, because that's what hospitality is.
Lately there we just said to ourselves that look, we're going to start doing takeaways. The famous five, as we call them. You know, the famous five. What are the most popular dishes to use? It's surviving for us. It's working great.
I suppose my role is to try and raise the profile of the area to people outside the area and encourage them to come here on holidays. So I suppose over the last 4 or 5 years we've really been building to get to that point where we can start to put ourselves on the map a little bit more.
If you'd like more information, all you have to do is visit ballina.ie.
GRG Sports. We are Mayo's #1 sportswear provider. Check out our high performance sports range today. Partnering with clubs across Ireland, set up your club shop or kit out your team with bespoke high quality sportswear. Be game ready. Visit grgsports.com or follow us on social media. Support local.
You're welcome back to us here on Mayo GAA TV. The first half of the first game of the double header in Ballina Stephenites. Well, we've reached that junction at this point. Really, I suppose a game of 2 quarters. Is that a good way to describe it, Tomás Morley?
Yeah, and look, at sometimes games are like that, like, you know, that water break. I'm not, you know, I know Jack says it influences. I think, you know, what people need to hear is a good blind and you know, they change 1 or 2 things, and definitely their extra intensity upped in that, and Kiltimagh went down. That happens in a game, like they had scored 1-7 at that stage. Like they've only scored 1 point in that last quarter, but it coincides with a lot of, you know, silly things both sides, and as I said, I think Kiltimagh are rushing this.
Yeah, I mean, look, the blistering start, Declan, that Kiltimagh got, and we know the situation in this group is that Bonniconlon are safe and sound, and Kiltimagh need that victory. It's 7-5 at half time to Lewisburg in the other game in this group. Swinford against Lewisburg, that's right, 7-5 to Lewisburg. But Kiltimagh just started at a pace that was hard to keep up with from the sideline, never mind for Bonniconlon.
They did. The first 15 minutes in particular was very impressive, and it was fairly straightforward football, Angelina. It was, with that breeze behind them, it was route 1. It was into the full forward line, and TJ Byrne was doing a lot of damage. I was very impressed with Owen Lavin as well. He was getting on a lot of balls, smart player. He really set up the goal there for Brian Gallagher. So look, at Kiltimagh started off very, very well. After the water break, whatever you call about it, a momentum shifter or not, they took the foot off the pedal. They conceded in the last 12 minutes 1-3 to a point. They won't be happy with that, so they've an awful lot to play for here in the second half, as it just started.
They certainly have. So lads, I'm going to let you back to Tom Kearney, Tomás and Declan, going back now to join Tom Kearney for second half commentary.
Thank you, Angelina. And a couple of interesting instances while you've been away. There was a shout for a foul from Bonniconlon defence, but Kiltimagh thought they should have had a free. We've had a substitution. We'll bring you news of that in a second. There was a very quick turnaround by referee Eamon McAndrew. He must be on for Sunday dinner somewhere, trying to sell the dummy there with Sean Neary, and that ball's just gone straight up into the air. Martin Rafter tries to win it. It breaks kindly for David Walsh. He's trying to get through and have a shot. He's pulled to the ground. David Walsh, who's made his return to Bonniconlon football after being 3 years away. He was representing Ireland in badminton, but he got an injury there, and Bonniconlon are glad to have him back this year. He's just been fouled, so it's going to be his opportunity to take the free. And Tomás Morley and Declan O'Reilly, you'll be kept fit today, lads, running backwards and forwards. It's a bit of a distance running from here to there and back again, is it? It was a brisk walk.
Time, lads.
I think this could be a new thing. 5 minutes half time. No time for talk.
It's certainly been a very quick turnaround, as that one is put wide, and it's still 1-3 Bonniconlon, 1-8 Kiltimagh.
Oh, that was a point.
It was over the bar.
Yeah, that's a point. Yeah, that was a free in.
Taken by David Walsh. That's his second of the game. There's another injury on Kiltimagh here now. The referee has decided it was a foul. Paul Kelly and Sean Forkin are both down. They look like they're in a bit of trouble. Forkin doesn't look too bad, but the concern for Kiltimagh will be Kelly. He's had a massive influence over Kiltimagh in the last couple of years in the midfield area, and Tomás Morley, Paul Kelly is you wouldn't want to lose him at any stage of the game.
Yeah, there's a lot of people rolling ankles today and going over, you know, it's this sort of short season too, like, you know, it's going to be a lot of leg injuries and stuff like that, like, so, like, you know, he came down, I think, from the actual catching the ball, like.
I think he's going to be okay.
Yeah, he seems to be okay. The substitution on the Bonniconlon side, Jason O'Malley's been replaced by number 17 Martin Rafter, brother of James, as Bonniconlon playing with the breeze now this half, and it's the sideline ball for Bonniconlon, taken quickly. Let's see if they can play the route one full. And another player down injured here for Kiltimagh. Lavin seems to have gone over on his ankle now as well. Just to add to Kiltimagh's worries, 3 players now with injury concerns as Martin Rafter spins on a dime. He puts that high up over the bar. Great finish from Martin Rafter. James Rafter, sorry, that's his first of the game, and it's made it a 3-point game, Declan O'Reilly.
And it's Bonniconlon's second point to the half, Tom, and I tell you, they've got off to a much brighter and brisker start. I know there's a significant wind in it, alright, but Kiltimagh are really going to have to lift themselves, and they're going to start having to look for leaders on the pitch here to drive this thing on for them, because they need to up their game now, or else they're going to find themselves in bother.
In the last 20 minutes, Bonniconlon have outscored Kiltimagh 1-5 to 1 point, as that attack breaks down as well. Very good defending by Conor Igo, turning over the the ball inside their own defence and looking to run the ball now. Better kick passing and using that breeze to better effect. Bonniconlon, no, they just need a win to top the group.
Like touched that on the
and
ground.
that's on the ground.
Yeah.
And as we said earlier, the conditions are difficult, but a couple of the basic skills have eluded a few of the players today, particularly on the touching on the ground. The referee, Liam McAndrew, has been very quick to it.
He has, but you have to learn to know what the referee pulls for, and he's been consistently pulling.
High ball inside, it's gone over his head.
Yeah.
There was a long ball delivered inside by Killian Finn. The referee, yeah, it's been given. The goalkeeper came out. He didn't really get off the ground. I don't think TJ Byrne actually got a touch on it. I think it flew over everybody's head. And Owen Greavy is down. I think he's landed awkwardly. Aidan Doherty didn't seem to follow the flight of the ball, and it just went over his head.
Yeah, it came out very quickly onto TJ Byrne. But again, that simple ball in by Killian, looking for TJ. I don't think it was a shot. It was just looking for him, and you get a good benefit from it. It's a sucker blow for Bonniconlon straight away.
But it's
Greavy is down injured. He doesn't look in a good way. He's back up on his feet. We'll just see if we can cue up the.
It's a big score, but it's very simple though. That was simple.
Here's the goal again.
A goalkeeping error. It was over the top. Doherty comes out, misjudges it, goes over his head and into the goal. Very simply, a goalkeeping error.
Goalkeeping error, and it's 2-8 to 1-5. Bonniconlon now have it all to do. Poor ball delivered inside by the outside of the left boot of Sean Neary, and Kiltimagh can launch a counter attack. Better playing. Substitution on the Kiltimagh side is Liam Kelly has come on to the field. We'll just see who's gone off as Kiltimagh are messing around with the ball. There's a pull on a jersey there by Damien Dempsey. It's going to be a free for Kiltimagh on the far side. But a shock for Bonniconlon, Tomás Morley and Kiltimagh. Fortuitous enough goal at the same time.
Yeah, a shock for them, for Bonniconlon definitely, because they were in the ascendancy there. But again, an awful lot of mistakes, an awful lot of basic kick passing, hand passing mistakes from both sides.
Both teams have shown us that they can put scores over the bar, as Neary trying to get away from Brian Gallagher. Lays it off, and that's delivered low inside. Not sure if Aidan Harrington was his target, but couldn't get hands on the ball, and Kiltimagh can run the ball out of their defence. Let's see if they can deal better with the conditions than what Bonniconlon had in the first half. We're coming up to 6 minutes of the second half of the Mayo Intermediate Football Championship. Egan's Jewellers sponsored. Kiltimagh are making hard work of getting it out of their own half at the moment. Good pressure by the Bonniconlon forwards. They do eventually get out into midfield, but try to hand pass over. Killian Upton turns the ball over. Great work by Upton, and he's going to lay it in, looking for Harrington, and he knocks it down, and it's coming in on the loop, and that's a great finish. Brilliant Route 1 football. David Walsh, how glad they are to have him back from Denmark. Lovely ball delivered in. Aidan Harrington palms it down, but eludes the defender. Low finish by Walsh. Great direct football.
Yeah, very good finish, and again, simple football, but it comes down to base and handling, hand passing error from Tomás Egan, long ball in and tap down back the net.
I think a huge amount of credit has to go to Killian Upton for his turnover in the middle of the park. He got up, he saw what he wanted to do, kicked the direct ball in, the goal came from that. Really good play for him.
Kiltimagh on the counter attack here themselves. David Lydon, he's inside the 21, he's tackled, and it's a poor challenge from Martin Durkin. Both players hit the ground. The referee can interpret this in one of two ways. It could be a black card. We've seen them given, but the goal by David Walsh was an excellently taken, nice and low to the goalkeeper's left.
Yeah, the finish
good
was good.
Finish.
He had a lot to do, and now he was against a very good goalkeeper, and he put it right down into the bottom left-hand corner. He knew exactly what he wanted to do. Interesting, this colour of the card, yellow. He decided it was an awkward tackle more than a malicious one.
We can see it here. Lydon sort of came. He caught a call. He came across him, caught him with a forearm, and he hit the ground. So it wasn't a pull down. So
I have a feeling this game is going to open up into up and down the field, and anything could happen.
Here's the finish of the Bonniconlon goal. As you said, Route 1 ball in. Aidan Harrington knocks it down. nicely gathered in by David Walsh and a cool finish.
I think Harrington knew exactly what he was doing there. I don't think he was trying to catch that ball. I think I got a sense that he got David Walsh off the corner of his eye in his peripheral vision, and that's really good play. It hopped up lovely for him, and Walsh, in fairness to him, had a lot to do and tucked it away nicely in the bottom left-hand corner. A really good goal for Bonniconlon. Very important score.
3 minutes into the second half in Swinford, and it's 10 points Lewisburg, Swinford 8. So a bit of a comeback on there by Swinford as Lavin taps that one over the bar. And it's 2-5 Bonniconlon, 2-9 Kiltimagh. There's a substitution being made on the Bonniconlon side. It looks like it's Richard McKenzie who's coming on, and they're withdrawn. Is it Jonathan Novell? He had a bit of a knock in the first half, so he's out. He was on a yellow card as well, so trying to see this game out. Well taken by Paul Kelly. Doesn't seem to be by Sean Walsh. As Tomás Morley alluded to, his fielding style is for that kind of ball coming out in front of him. Kiltimagh going inside, looking for that run of the forward, but TJ Byrne couldn't gather the ball in, and that attack comes to nothing as Kiltimagh counter. Conor Igo plays a ball up the top. It was a 50-50 ball. You would have thought there was much in it, but
Kiltimagh were attacking that time, Tom. The ball, it was a good ball into TJ. He should have held on to it. They're the ones that you're spilling, and that gives a direct advantage then to the opposition in a counter attack. You'll be saying as a management, they're the ones you simply have to tuck in under your Oxter and win.
So it's going to be a free for Kiltimagh, for Bonniconlon. They're going to have the breeze at their back. I'd probably back David Walsh to have another go at this.
The peculiar thing,
a yellow card as well there for Matty Cummins.
The peculiar thing on this, Tom, is that Kiltimagh have actually won all of the actual kickouts nearly. It's not like they're not getting enough at midfield. It's just that, again, that ball though, I know Jack said he should get it, but it is on the ground. It's something that actually, it's a hard one to get in these conditions, but he should have tucked it in all right.
And that's gone to the right and wide. But yeah, TJ Byrne, it was a low ball, but you can gather that ball into your
It's not his type of ball.
It wasn't great, but that one actually hopped up. That was nearly coming up to waist height. That's why I would have said it. Like, for him, he needs to get it somewhere in around a couple of metres. But Kiltimagh are going to have to make the ball stick in the full forward line. Simple as that.
Bonniconlon are looking to make another change. They've called out a couple of subs to go out and warm up as that kick out does. Paul Kelly slides along the ground to gather that ball in, and Bonniconlon are working as a much better unit now, trying to turn over. But Kiltimagh, Cummins, who just got a yellow card, he's trying to get his team driven forward, lays it off to Damien Dempsey. Dempsey managed to keep possession of the ball, recycles it back out to Walsh. Pop a pass. I don't think Aidan Cosgrove was actually expecting the pass, and he manages to claw it back in as Sean Forkin joins the attack. Liam Kelly,
number 21.
Liam Kelly is 21. So Kiltimagh, that attack. Oh,
that's a card.
Now that'll be
it's a yellow card, I'd imagine. But the thing is, he was disappointed out of frustration because he took a shot on that was never on. There was never a gap. He just forced a shot. He was frustrated with it, so he lunged down with the
tackle.
Tackle. Should be a yellow card.
And is, yeah.
Just born out of pure frustration, that one.
So, substitution. Jason Forkin is on for Sean. Yeah. So we're back underway. Bonniconlon have a 4-point gap to make up here in the next 20 minutes. We'll be having a water break in the next 6 or 7 minutes, and as we've said in the first half, those water breaks can be a momentum changer. At the moment, Bonniconlon have stumbled their way into this attack, and after conceding that goal, it just seemed to couldn't get the ball up into his hands, Ronan Conlon. But Bonniconlon route one ball again, a bit of a outside of the right sliced kick. It didn't have any kind of pace on it. The ball just hung up on the breeze. It bit easier for the defender, and Chucky Gallagher has Owen Lavin coming back from corner forward, trying to give their defence a bit of a handout, trying to get a bit of attack, bit of a momentum going. Tomás Keegan is inside waiting for ball as Cummins comes on the attack again. Nice little hand pass over the top, lays it off. It's coming through. It's Kiltimagh, and it's going to be Conor. He's going to be finished.
The goalie dropped it again.
It's gone
out for a 45.
Jason Forkin I think he was going for the point to drop short, and you'd have to question the hands of Aidan Doherty there.
The confidence seems to have ebbed out of him since his mistake for that goal. I think Kiltimagh could recognise that. I wouldn't be surprised if they were to put a few high ones in around the house just to test out his state of well-being at the moment.
And the spectators outside the ground up on the hill be enjoying this one, as you can see from our pictures. We're any viewpoint, as you saw from the games yesterday. Particularly over in Crossmolina, they made their own grandstand.
They've moved the cattle.
The cattle are gone.
Do you count the cattle for the?
That's a serious kick.
And that's over the bar. Great score from Jamie McNicholas, his second of the game. But I think the cattle got moved on very early. They're back in the shed, and the spectators were not entirely sure who they're supporting over at that side. But Kiltimagh will be the happier team. They've got that 4-point lead again.
5 points, I think.
5 points now, 2-10 to 2-5, yeah. 2-10 that's
Jamie McNicholas, because I wasn't sure with that breeze whether he was going to make it, but he had no doubt himself, and it really was a good kick, and it carried a good distance behind the goal as well.
That's a low challenge there. It's going to be a free out. Brian Gallagher is going to make sure that the time gets eaten up here, as Swinford are now only 1 point down. It's 10 points Louisburg, 9 points Swinford, so that one's getting close as well.
I think it's something that I just noticed today, and it's not because Kiltimagh is down, but Bonniconlon as well. He's not. The referee is not allowing any, and which even with this here, if there's someone you heard the hit from here, and he's played on with 3 or 4 fellas down on the ground, and that's not part. I don't care if you see this sort of thing, you stop for a couple of seconds, just see, because that was a hit. Yeah,
he picked up a nice smack in the jaw. He's 100% definitely hurt. All right.
We can just see the replay here of the Kiltimagh second goal. As we said, it was an optimistic high ball in.
Killian Finn put it in.
And he just got caught.
He got caught in the area, and it's a hard one on a day like today with the breeze the way but he came probably too close to TJ Byrne, and he couldn't actually come back from it.
And the Bonniconlon second goal was just a piece of class finishing from.
Yeah, and as you said, just put it down on purpose.
Yeah, I think it was a really well worked goal. That
David Lydon manages to get a ball inside. Martin Durkin can't keep the ball. There's a bit of pulling and dragging going on the inside. The referee says it's Bonniconlon.
Given a free for what?
For off the ball.
It was off the ball. It was right in front of him.
Yeah. Old-fashioned third-man tackle, is it?
No, but again, it was the Kiltimagh first. He was looking to get the ball. So again,
it's a matter of interpretation.
He saw it out of the corner of his eye.
Yeah.
Okay.
Route 1 football from Bonniconlon, high up the field, well taken. Great catch there by Ronan Neary.
Oh, he should have played advantage there.
There was a break on there, slowed it down.
I'd say Bonniconlon must be disappointed with that refereeing decision, because they had clear open space in front of them that time, and they had looked like they had a 3-on-2 situation. He pulled it back, and now they have a free kick from outside the 45.
These
doesn't
are the
make a lot of
times
sense.
where sometimes officials are out of their depth.
So we'll see who's going to take the. It looks like it's it's going to be Sean Neary. He's yet to score, but it's now it's a water break in Louisburg. It's 12-9 to Louisburg, so it's gone back to 3 points. They've stemmed the tide a little bit there, Louisburg. But from the Bonniconlon perspective, they've had scores from 4 of their 6 forwards. If this goes over for Sean Neary, that's going to be his first of the game, and an important score for Bonniconlon. And that's going to make it at 4 points. Have the replay here. He got good connection, and the breeze did the rest for him. Got it over the crossbar.
Sweet strike with the breeze at his back, but he kicked it very, very well. Very impressive kicking style.
Ball picked out, and that's gone out over the sideline. Bonniconlon looking to get the game going quickly again. Neary, ball in hand, plays a little kick pass inside, trying to win it out in front of his man again. It's a needless foul given away by Matty Cummins. He needs to be careful. He's already on a yellow.
Looked like the two of them were tangled up in that one now, and it looks like that
Ronan Neary turned the body in.
He did turn. He was smart about it. He got his free. I'd say it's a manufactured free.
So this could cut the deficit to 3 if Sean Neary can put this over the black spot. Long run up. He's going to bring it in on the breeze. Doesn't connect with it well at all. It dropped short. Kept in play though. Kiltimagh trying to press up, trying to stop any kind of score, but there's a player free to tap. Quick hands, quick feet.
No, missed it.
But it's gone gone to the right and wide, another wide for Bonniconlon, but much better from Bonniconlon. They've stemmed the Kiltimagh kind of attack as we approach the water break, and there it is. Water break now on 17 minutes. It's a 4-point game, and Tomás Morley, Kiltimagh will be glad of that water break just to get a little bit of reorganisation.
Yeah, and I think Aidan Cosgrove has come in there. I can't see exactly who's come off yet, but it's because it's the water break. You can't see the person going off. I think it's going to that 4 points. You would, in 15 minutes, you'd think that it's still with Kiltimagh, obviously, to tack on a few. But again, it's going to be simple football. It's going to be that getting the ball and keeping the ball. It's conditions, you see, I know you mightn't be able to see it, but the conditions are quite sort of squally, and there's a bit of rain every so often. But definitely, it might come down to the fact that Bonniconlon don't have to win this, and Kiltimagh have to actually go at it. And
Declan O'Reilly, the Bonniconlon forward line have started to come alive a little bit. As we said, 5 of the 6 forwards have already scored, and if they can get a couple more scores after this water break, try and get a little bit more, use that breeze a little bit better. Once they get to halfway, they're not looking to play the ball quickly inside into the likes of Aidan Harrington. The goal came from a lovely ball inside. If they start putting in 2 or 3 more of those, it'll turn the Kiltimagh defence and having them work a little bit overtime.
And I said, Killian Upton for the goal that time did huge work out the pitch. He got a turnover himself, really smart football, heads up football, picked out Aidan Harrington who tapped it down to David Walsh, who tucked it away nicely. So I thought they showed great composure, Tom, actually, because they're after conceding a soft goal, and a soft goal in a game like this can be a real game changer. So they showed good composure. They came back, so that's a good sign from Bonniconlon. They have the breeze at their back. There's a 4-point deficit. I know it's an old cliche, but it really is all to play for here. And again, my opinion hasn't changed much from the start. Kiltimagh need to win this more than Bonniconlon. Let's see how much they need to win it now in the next 10.
Lorcan Conlon is on for Bonniconlon. I don't see James Rafter out there, so we'll just get confirmation of that. But the game restarts with the kick out, and Kiltimagh look to build again. Liam Kelly bringing the ball inside. Good strong running from the midfielder, trying to create a little bit of momentum now. Couldn't gather it, got it at the second attempt. And Kiltimagh trying to work their angles, looking for the players coming off their shoulder again. It's a bit static in front of them. Injecting a bit of pace is Mulderrick, driving them forward. But again, it's comfortable for the Bonniconlon defence. It's in front of them. It's where they'd rather play Kiltimagh. But Paul Kelly is going to drive at the heart of the Bonniconlon defence, lays it off for Neary, back in pass. Good exchange of passes between him and Byrne onto Lavin. Short. That's short. And what is Aidan Doherty at?
Oh, is it gone over the bar? The
That's
goalkeeper
panned it over
the
bar. Surely.
Yeah,
it is a difficult one, and then
it's at the crossbar, so
you have to give it to the goalkeeper. He's had a few balls come in that he's had to had a little bit of difficulty dealing with, and he had to make a decision.
Very patient from Kiltimagh in the sense that they didn't panic here when the pressure was on them, and got it through to the guy that can actually score, and that's what they need to do.
Owen Lavin with his 4th of the game,
his 5th, I think. Well.
Oh, he got one from the free as well.
Yes, yeah. He's been very good for them today, and I think they need to play him inside because he's a real threat.
2-11 to 2-6, 19 minutes gone in the Egan Jewelers Intermediate Mayo Football Championship alive for you on Mayo GAA TV. Don't forget, we have Belmullet and Gary Moore coming up at 4 o'clock as that Bonniconlon attack seems to have been broken down. The ball pulled on first time, driven out to midfield, down to pick it up with Brendan McShane, who's entered the fray as well. McShane, Upton, long ball delivered into the corner, more of a direct ball, going to make a runner. Damien Dempsey is going to try and keep that in. He manages to get it up, and David Walsh can't get it at the first, gets it at the second. He gets away from his marker. Walsh wants to come back onto his right boot, and he's tug on the jersey. It's going to be a free for Bonniconlon, and it should be Walsh himself who takes it.
Yeah, he's been impressive, Walsh, I have to say. A lot of ball that goes his way, he's winning it now. He scored 1-2 already, and he got the goal obviously in 2 frees, and this one looks like it's definitely within his range.
He's an international badminton player. He's been in Denmark for the last few years. He got an injury and came back to football, and you wouldn't know he'd been away that long.
No, he's been good. He's a real threat every time the ball gets into him there. It looks like something positive can happen from a Bonniconlon point of view.
So 2-6. 2-7 Bonniconlon, 2-11 Kiltimagh. We'll see. Long ball out, palm down. Good work there by the Kiltimagh midfield. Sean Walsh palming it down. Liam Kelly driving forward, lays it off, pop pass back to Kelly, came on the counter run. Ahead of him is Aidan Cosgrove in midfield now. Kiltimagh again looking to move the ball around the pitch. They're looking for targets on their half forward line. They have not too many to aim for. As a long ball forward, there's a pull on behind, and that's going to be a free in. Martin Durkin giving away the free foul on Killian Finn.
Yeah, I thought he played that well. Got out in front of the man, put the hands up, and kind of he shielded, I suppose, himself. He knew, he anticipated a foul was going to come, and the referee was there. It was good forward play. He bought a foul that was going to come his way anyway.
Well, he had to come from very deep to get that ball, though. He was already in the full forward line.
Kiltimagh, I suppose they've got the young guns on now. They've got Liam Kelly and they've got Aidan Cosgrove. Aidan Cosgrove in from Matty Commons that had the yellow card, but they're getting it to the guys. And, like, I'm happy when I see the likes of Conor Heenan taking them balls out of there, because it's just calm and it's what's needed.
Now, he's put one over from here before. I thought it was a real ambitious kick, but he certainly proved me wrong. Let's see, can he back it up with this one? It's into a big breeze.
Yeah, it's on the wrong side, I would think.
He's hit that with everything.
No, just
but
pulled to the left.
But it still had distance, it still had range.
Sometimes you have to compromise accuracy when you get the distance, though, Tom, and that's what happened there. He was just on the wrong side. It was more into the trajectory of the breeze. It was a good, valiant effort, but just short on the left-hand side.
There's going to be a substitution. The flag is up on the far side. Is
Killian English.
Killian English, is it? Just wait to see who's.
Looks like it's young Finn that's gone off.
Yeah. No, he's still there, 13.
He's on the way off, I'd say, looking.
Yeah.
Oh, he's jogging off over on the far side. Yeah,
that's what it looks like.
Sorry, that's Owen Carroll there.
Owen
Carroll, yeah.
Yeah, Owen Carroll on the field. He's he came through the minor, Tomas.
No, he's not. No.
Good turn from Upton again. He's got through a good shift in midfield for Bonniconlon. He's one of the reasons Bonniconlon are back in this game. They're trying to get another ball inside, but he just couldn't lay it off. Conor Igo was looking to pop the ball. He was trying to pop it up to Richie McKenzie. McKenzie had his back to him, didn't realise it was there. There was a foul anyway, so we're going to have Sean Neary going to have a go from this one just inside the 45. No, he's going to leave it for David Walsh, but the referee says no, it was a foul.
Yeah, it was, and Igo was looking to offload that for 2 or 3 seconds before he got the foul. He looks like a good threat as well. He's a decent player, Igo, when he gets forward. Has kicked a point already now, and again, Kiltimagh have to make sure to stem his attacks when they can.
Kicking with the breeze at his back. He's pulled that one to the left. It drops short into the hands of Jamie McNicholas. Bit of a waste there from David Walsh, putting the first real push strike a goal he's had, and Kiltimagh get the ball into the midfield. Great take along the ground, and a foul drew as well. Kiltimagh are looking to move the ball quickly there, since they can get a chance of a score, while the Bonniconlon defence tries to get back another free, taken very quickly, hit inside towards TJ Byrne lays it back off. Great run and strong run to Carroll, and they're through inside. Comes to David Lydon. Brilliant team goal, came all the way from the free in the middle of the field. Great work initially, the slide and take along the ground, great interchange of passing. Out came TJ Byrne, slipped it inside David Lydon. Goalkeeper had no chance.
And as a manager, this is exactly what you want. You've got your goalie kicking it out, or bringing it out to Aidan Cosgrove, got it along the ground to Liam Kelly to Owen Carroll, the ones that had come on to try and change it. And a great finish by David Lydon, but probably the best move
in the game.
It was, and you'd have to say there was youth all over that and energy, which is a good sign for Kiltimagh. They can bring on young legs that can actually make a difference. There's no point in bringing on substitute unless you make an impact.
Referee was drew the foul. I thought he was bringing the ball up, but no.
That's a foul.
That's
He's playing advantage.
And got a strong hand in there, a la his father Eugene. Kiltimagh done for overcarrying this time. A bit soft. I think the referee may or may not have been influenced by the Bonniconlon bench that called for overcarrying.
Well, they were very vociferous in their call that time.
Ball hanging up on the breeze, can't get a hand to it. Dempsey breaks kindly for Kiltimagh, and that's going to be a free. But you'd have to say Kiltimagh have earned that third goal, Tomas Morley, just by sheer persistence.
Yeah, and I think the 5 to since I suppose the 5 to 10 minutes before that, they've calmed it all down. They're getting it to the guys, like as I said, Conor Heenan, Paul Kelly, just slowing it down, and then they put a bit of urgency to it. But that score, that goal was the opposite. It was quick, it was moving it through the hands, and a great score.
So Kiltimagh 3-11, Bonniconlon 2-7. Substitution there as well on the Kiltimagh team. Conor Heenan has actually been withdrawn. We'll just see who's come in for him.
Number 25, but it only goes to 24 on the programme.
That's Killian English, I think, yeah.
Okay.
Killian English is down as 18 in the programme, but Tomas Morley knows his men.
Yes, we'll have to bounce the Kiltimagh
plays an
man for
early
that
ball
one.
inside. Dempsey wanted the ball delivered early. It was delivered early, all right, but Doherty, the goalkeeper, read that one. And he's trying to get something going here for Bonniconlon in the closing stages of this Egan Jewelers Intermediate Football Championship clash. Live view on Mayo GAA TV, but that's a loose turnover. Upton couldn't get his hand to it the second time. And don't forget, we have another game at 4 o'clock for you today. We have Garrymore versus Belmullet, live view from 4. Just to give you a couple of scores, Mayo Gales and Burrishoole, it's early stages there. It's 2 points to Mayo Gales, 1 point Burrishoole. Castlebar Mitchell's B3, Ardnaree 1, and Swinford 11, Luersburg 15 as they approach the 57th minute there. So it looks like it's going to be a Luersburg win, and Kiltimagh. It doesn't matter what happened in that game. If Kiltimagh win here, they're through, and they're going through in emphatic fashion at the moment. They're looking to add to their score here. Gallagher has drifted inside. If they release him, he's got his hand up. He's all on his own at the edge of the square if they want to give it to him. TJ Byrne doesn't see him. He sells the dummy here from Castle, but they get it inside to Lavin. Lavin's inside and he fist passes that over the board.
Good play, good smart patient play.
There was a chance of a goal. Gallagher had drifted inside and they hadn't seen him, but again,
patient, and again, you know, seeing the guy inside, and Owen Lavin will finish them, like, and there probably was a goal chance.
There was, but they didn't get a chance
at the time of the game.
They did, but they didn't see Chucky inside either, and that's fair enough. But what you want here from your forward play is nice and patient, keep moving the ball around, keep working the backs, and then when you get your opportunity and the gap appears, you inject a bit of pace into it then, and you finish, and that's exactly what they did. Good play for Kiltimagh, and really good play for a player that's impressed me today, Owen Lavin.
Strong challenge in there by Aidan Harrington. A bit of verbals between the bench and the players on the field. There's another one down on the ground, as we said. Kiltimagh just looking to do it as it's going to be a free. Lydon comes in field, gives it back to Mulderrick. Kiltimagh just trying to see the game out now. We're coming up to the last minute of the 60 minutes, and we'll have whatever the referee will add on. There's been a few short stoppages. Can't envisage there being too much additional time, as Kiltimagh are still driving forward. Donovan Cosgrove now, he's got it fouled. Good play again, back to Lavin. He's going to have another dig, but that's a wild Gary Owen. Under it there for Kiltimagh is Owen Carroll, trying to keep it in from going out, and Lavin went over to try and stop it, but that's gone out over the end line, and that is his.
I think he made the wrong decision there, because there was a fella inside. Young Carroll was wide open. Owen went for a spectacular shot carrying the breeze, made the wrong call.
Bonniconlon have, as we said, already qualified, so Kiltimagh will join them in the draw, which will be also later on for you here on Mayo GAA TV for both the Connacht Gold Senior Football Championship, the Egan Jewelers Intermediate Championship, as well as the Junior Championship. So, as we said, we're playing, coming up to the 30th minute, as the referee wants to have a quick word with Paul Kelly.
Yeah, it looks like this game is going to peter out now with a Kiltimagh win. The 2 goals in the second half were the 2 big scores. The fortuitous one, I think, kept Kiltimagh in it. I know Bonniconlon came back and got a goal. Kiltimagh's second goal was really good move.
Ball hit into the edge of the square, trying to get a hand on it there, but it's gone wide. As we said, the third goal from Kiltimagh was an excellent team goal. The second goal for Bonniconlon was a great combination goal between tip down from Harrington, nice finish from Walsh, but the ball, as you said, started with the goalkeeper from cornerback, worked it up the field, and a great finish from Bonniconlon, coolly taken by David Lydon. As we said, this game is just coming to its last stages now. Kiltimagh will be looking just to keep possession, wind out the clock, not do anything silly. They're well ahead. They have a 7-point lead, and they're looking just finish with a flurry possibly. Good ball up the line to Tomás Keegan. Keegan trying to find Byrne, but Byrne had a hold of the jersey of Owen Greavy.
It was a poor ball, really.
It was the wrong side of him. It should have been outside of him.
Keegan looked to give a better ball. He just miscued it, I think.
Bonniconlon going backward, trying to go again. Upton plays a ball up the corner, trying to find David Walsh, but that ball's gone out over the sideline. As we said, we're into the first minute of additional time. There can't be much more left in his own. Eamon McAndrew has a look at his watch.
And
Bonniconlon want to bring in another substitution. They're looking to bring in Kieran Gaughan, but I'd say the next break in play will be the last one.
Yeah, look, it's up to the discretion of the referee at this stage now, Tom, but there's no doubt about the result here. Obviously, it's 3-12 to 2-7. Kiltimagh are going to see this one through, and they'll be happy with that.
Happy indeed. There was, as we said, there was a big question mark over Kiltimagh before this game. As I said, they'd drawn the previous 2 rounds, and if Bonniconlon had played like they were capable, there's a turnover here though on the 30, and that's a tackle from behind. It's going to be an opportunity of another consolation score for Bonniconlon.
That type of play from Chucky Gallagher there though, Jeremy McNicholas won't be happy with that, because that's just asking for trouble. You're dilly-dallying in front of the goal, you're soloing left and right, you're not really going anywhere. You're just looking to bring Bonniconlon or whatever opposition onto you, and you you cough up a cheap free for them there.
Especially in the game, say in the next round when you go into a quarter final, it could be.
It's not going to matter in the context of this game, but certainly it's a learning point for going on, because obviously once you get into a quarter final and knockout stages now, it's going to get tighter, it's going to get more difficult, and the unforced errors will be much more costly. Not in today's game, but that's one for the video analysis for during the week, I'm sure.
David Walsh will take this free, look to add to his tally for the day. Makes a clean connection with that one,
he got
and
it.
that's over the bar. Good score from David Walsh as the rain starts to come down here at James Stephens Park. As we said, don't forget at 4 o'clock, and there is the final whistle. At 4 o'clock we have Belmullet and Gary Moore and Declan O'Reilly. You'd have to say Kiltimagh were well worth their win, even though Bonniconlon had a little bit of a purple patch. 3-12 doesn't flatter Kiltimagh.
No, I think it's sometimes the score line doesn't tell the story of the match. I think that does actually. I think Kiltimagh's first quarter was very, very good. They got off to a flying start. They looked like they were 7 points up at that stage. The break came, the water break, and then Bonniconlon got into their stride and they had scored 1-3. It looked like there was a lot to play for, I suppose, in the second half with that strong breeze that Bonniconlon had, and they got it back to 4 points then, and they got it at that stage. That's the purple patch that you're talking about. Bonniconlon looked like they might do something. The lucky goal, if you call it that, came at that stage, and that really had a huge bearing on the game. It's one that was kicked in by young Killian Finn, and it went over the head of the keeper. It's simple as that. It was a mistake. After that then Bonniconlon came down and got their goal, but I thought the bench that Kiltimagh used was very, very smart, very, very good, used at the good time. They brought fresh legs, and all these young fellas can play football, and they all added to that really good goal that Kiltimagh got. And once they got that third goal, they just pushed on. I think the life was sucked out of Bonniconlon at that stage.
So it's finished here, 3-12 Kiltimagh, 2-8 Bonniconlon. We'll hand you back over to Angelina and Tomás Morley.
Thanks so much, Tom, and thank you for your commentary on that first game of the double header here at Ballina Stephenites GAA grounds. Tomás, I suppose the second half, just to get your initial thoughts on that, there was that huge rally from Bonniconlon. We thought for maybe the first 10 or 15 minutes there we were going to see a different result, but no, that wasn't to be today.
Yeah, and it's I suppose you'd be expecting that. Probably the amount that they had to do in the first half probably took it out of their legs as well. Like, they really had to push it, and I think towards the end of it, what will be satisfying for Dermack and the selectors is that the guys that they brought on, all the young guys, Aidan Cosgrove, Owen Carroll, even Killian English, guys like that, they all actually contributed to the actual the scoring towards the end of it. I suppose that'll be the satisfying thing for them, and the fact that they actually finished out the game, because I think that would have been something in the past when the chips were down, that they'd have to actually come out and fight for it, and they did. And I think Conor Heenan, as I said there earlier on, in a time where they needed cool heads, he was very calm. It went through, and they just got their scores. Owen Lavin got a score there. Both goals, we say Bonniconlon goal was fortuitous in the first half, and in the second half the Kiltimagh one was fortuitous. either side of that were very good goals as well. And the last goal, I think, was probably the move of the match, starting down with Jamie Mack, with just catching a free. Got it out towards Aidan Cosgrove to Liam Kelly to Owen Carroll. Very good layoff and back of the net. And I think if they can join them two types of their facets of their play, slow it down when needed, and then have a quicker sort of attack. And what I will say was that on both sides, an awful lot of ball was given away, kick passes and hand passes, especially by Bonniconlon. I suppose the hand passes in the first 10 or 15 minutes. But when both sides got I suppose on top of that, good game of football, good championship game. I think in the end Kiltimagh needed it and wanted it more.
Look, I'm conscious. I hope you're okay there. I'm conscious that Conor will probably want to get away. So Conor, I'm not going to chance that one for the moment, just in case. But listen, congratulations on the victory. As Tomas said there, when cool, calm heads were needed, you definitely gave Kiltimagh that element. So you must be delighted with that result in the end.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that we've probably been threatening that performance for a while. I'm just delighted. I think I heard Tom say it there, but in the two previous games we've had, we've been leading kind of going into the final quarter. We let it slip, and I thought there was a danger that happened in the third quarter, whether it's the water break or we just kind of, as you said, just had a few cool heads around the place just to kind of keep it calm and keep the ball in blue, I suppose. So once we rolled that out and got I think David Lydon got the third goal. I think that was kind of us home and hose. But yeah, great win.
I mean, you obviously needed the victory today in that group. Does that weigh heavily on your shoulders when you're coming into a game like this? I mean, for Bonniconlon, while they'll be disappointed with the final result today, I'm sure they knew they were through. Yeah, like I'm glad we kind of had something to play for, because it's been a few years now we've gone into the third game and we've actually been through already. And while you can talk all you want about, you say the right things and you do all the right things, that there's definitely something subconsciously that you know you're already through, and it probably does affect you a little. And I'm sure that kind of happened to Bonniconlon today, especially. You could tell that the way we started, that we knew we needed the win. I think we got 1-7 in the first quarter, but yeah, no, it's and I suppose the card for us was that if we won as well, we topped the group, which might give us a better draw going into the quarterfinals as well. But yeah, just as I said, just delighted to be in the last 8 now. What's it like playing the game without spectators? Now, there's a few lads checking cattle all right around about. There might have been a few camera shots today as well. But what's it like playing it without spectators, Conor? I could probably name the fellas that were on the hill, to be honest. I think that so. Checking cattle. Of course, checking cattle. Of course, it's kind of it's strange. I mean, it's not as if we're used to playing in front of huge crowds anyway. But what you are conscious of is you can just hear each other a lot more, and you can hear the opposition a lot more. So especially when they're trying to maybe put you off kickouts or put you on frees or stuff like that. But I suppose the key is to try and be the louder team. You can probably hear my voice now. But yeah, it was weird. It's obviously not something we prefer. Like Kiltimagh, we've had massive support down the years. We always have massive support. So it's a pity that our supporters can't be here with us. But I'm sure there's loads of them tuning in here to Mayo GAA TV. But yeah, it's strange. But listen, it's everyone in the same boat. So you just have to get on with it. Any preferences for the quarterfinals? I mean, the draw takes place here a little bit later on. Absolutely not. No, really. To be honest, we're just cliche as it sounds, just to be delighted to be in the last 8. We've probably been in that situation before where we've been through already, and before the last game we're wondering about who we might meet or who we want to meet or who we don't want to meet in the last 8, and that can be dangerous. It can seep into your head. So we'll get our heads right. Whoever kind of comes up against us, we'll be ready. Won't do a pork or horror on it and say we'll beat whoever we come up against next week. But no, we've no preference. We just have to get the bodies right and the heads right, and we'll be ready to go next weekend. Okay, Conor, listen, thanks so much for joining us. Congratulations on the win once again. Conor Heenahan there from the victorious Kiltimagh side joining us. We'll get Tomas and Declan to step in here again now to shot. You were just jumped unceremoniously there from the shot and out into the rain again, lads. Yeah, I know. I feel sorry for you, Tomas, you know that. Declan, I suppose we were just surmising that second half with Tomas just as you rejoined us from the commentary position there. Bonniconlon, they did give it their all. They put in a huge effort in the first quarter of that second half again to try and maybe turn the tables, but Kiltimagh had the legs in the end. They did. I thought their bench was very good, very impressive. They brought on a lot of young players who are obviously very, very good footballers, and this is a very good sign for Kiltimagh in the future. But to be able to bring on subs that'll make a real impact, that's important. A lot of teams I've seen in championships, including the game yesterday, people just bring on teams
sometimes bring on subs and no change happens. Kiltimagh's youth, exuberance and legs played a big part in that, and their third goal was, I thought I overheard Tomas saying, was the move of the match. I agree with that. I thought it was a very, very well worked team goal, and so that was hugely important. I think the fortuitous goal that they got, it helped steady the ship as well, even though Bonniconlon came back with a great goal of their own. But Kiltimagh showed a little bit of experience and a little bit of nuance and a little bit of just about how to game management, I suppose what you call it, to see out the game. They got a couple of crucial scores at the right times, and there was no doubt about it, they were full value for today. But we talked about this at the start of the day, Angelina, with Tomas and myself and yourself, and we both agreed, or we all agreed I suppose, is that Kiltimagh needed this more. And sometimes if you need a thing more, it can happen better for you. Bonniconlon are already through, Kiltimagh are through, they're through as top in the group, but they're all in the last 8, so really knockout football starts from now. So neither team would be in a better position than the other, but Kiltimagh just needed that bit more today.
Yeah, I mean, Conor made that point as well, Tomas, that when you know that you have to play for something, it definitely does make a difference. I asked him to weigh on their shoulders. He said they were delighted that they had that kind of incentive coming down here today, and you could see it right from the off, couldn't you?
Yeah, and again, it's hard to quantify what that means but in the early stages of the match, you could see that intensity. They won't be happy with the fact that it died for 15, maybe 20 minutes. But what they will be happy with is, if you look at I suppose what I was saying about the stats for kickouts, they won. I would say 80% of their kick, not just their kickouts, but the other kickouts as well. So, credit to Sean Welch and Paul Kelly there on that. And as I said, when it came to sort of stabilising, Conor Heenahan was very good. Jonathan Cosgrove was solid there. There's a few high balls. Harrington is quite tall, got a bit on them, but I thought Donovan did well in the actual stopping up guys. In the forward line then, Owen Lavin, today came on an awful lot more ball, was there to put the ball over at the end of some moves. That hand pass that he put over there, really good. Tomas Keegan chipped in with a few scores. T.G. Byrne started off very well, but then again, I suppose the deliverance in wasn't as good, but he was, you can say that when a full forward is there of his strength and his size, the goalie had to come out, and that was nearly his goal as much as Killian Finn's. David Lydon chipped in with the but I would say Conor Malee was in and out of it, and I suppose he's a young player, but he's played very well the last day in Lewisburg, and he'll be good for the future. But I think the story for them is that actually the subs that came on all did their part, and I think at a time where Bonniconlon had exerted a lot of energy in trying to I suppose close that gap, when these subs came on, they were able to actually put legs into it, and they skipped away. You see Killian English there just skipping away from his guy and driving on. Aidan Cosgrove, Owen Carroll, Liam Kelly, they all had a part to play in that, and I think that's probably what they're most happy with when it comes to that. The actual bench actually contributed to that win, I think, today, because they were in trouble. There was 3 points, Bonniconlon were coming at them, and I said the bench actually made a massive difference there with the cam heads of the older guys.
Well, listen, lads, it's been an interesting first game here at Ballina Stephen Knights GAA grounds. We have the draw later on, Declan. I'm going to ask you very briefly about that, because we're going off air for a short while, but remember, we'll be back with you at about 3:45 for the second game here, the senior clash, which is coming up at 4 o'clock. But Declan, I asked Conor Heenahan, had he any preferences there for a quarter final? So can I ask you from the sideline perspective, the experience you have, do you, in the back of your head, I know he's not going to give me the state secrets, have kind of an idea of who you'd like to play in those quarterfinals when the draw is made?
I don't really think so, because sometimes if you take a top team, so for instance at the moment in the intermediate level you're looking at the likes of Hollymount would be certainly talked about as being a top team up there. Are you better to get a top team in a quarterfinal when they're not fully prepared like they are in a final, or do you hope to get a team that you have in your own head a better mind of beating? For me personally, I would always like to have got a top team in a quarterfinal. I think it focuses your mind. I think you're in a place where you're at gaining a bit of momentum. So is the other team obviously, but it's a time that you could actually go at them, and they may not be at full tilt like they might be in a final. So look, at the bottom line, Conor was right in what he said. Their mission today was to get to that draw, to get into the hat, to be ready to be playing football, knockout football next weekend. They'll take whatever comes their way. If it's at one of the top teams, they'll take it, and I don't think they'll be too worried.
Well, absolutely. I think being in a quarter-final is what you want at this stage, so that's exactly where Kiltimagh are after the first of our double-header here at Ballina Stephen Knights GAA grounds. As I said, back at about 3:45 this afternoon, we have the second big game coming up as we watch the clash of Garrymore and Belmullet at 4 o'clock. It's a relegation battle in that particular group. We're really looking forward to it. We hope you can rejoin us for that. We'll see you in a little while.
Our ethos is to be in business for businesses, and we are all about the town, for Ballina, for North Mayo, for the county as well.
It's about the area, it's about what they can do when they get here and if they're safe. And we'll have the same great hospitality that we've always had, the great food, the great custom, because that's what hospitality is.
Lately there we just said to ourselves that look, we're going to start doing takeaways. The famous five, as we call them. You know, the famous five. What are the most popular dishes to use? It's surviving for us. It's working great.
I suppose my role is to try and raise the profile of the area to people.